day, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Feature Eyes TV. For this episode, we will be talking about cooking. That is right, cooking. Question is, do you know how to cook? If you know, what can you cook? Maybe you can cook pasta dishes or viands, or maybe you can cook other special recipes for special occasions. Well, whatever that is, when you say cooking, it's actually defined as a term applied when heat affects the entire mass of food. What does it mean? In order for us to do cooking, heat or flame is applied in order to make the food edible. Now, most people and most adults would say women should learn how to cook. Bakit? Kasi daw, tayo yung ilaw ng tahanan. Tayo yung dapat nagpe-prepare ng pagkain para sa ating pamilya. They say that the best way to a man's heart is through his stomach. Naniniwala ba kayo doon? Actually, ang totoo, not just women are good in cooking, but most men also are good in cooking. But the question here is, why do we really have to learn this skill? That's right, cooking is actually a skill. Bakit nga ba natin kailangan matutong magluto? Before I answer that, let us hear first from some of our friends that I asked about it. Roll VTR!
Bakit natin kailangan matutong magluto? Dahil mas natututo tayong kumain ng healthy, mas nababudget natin yung pera natin, tsaka mas less expensive than eating at the restaurants, fast food, or cafeteria.
I think cooking is the most essential life skill you must learn. It is a display of self-accountability. Learning how to cook will help you become more self-sufficient, understand world cultures, flavors, and customs. It will also teach you important life skills such as eating healthier and smarter. The better you get good at cooking, the more you can do with it, especially if you're passionate about it.
Bilang isang tao, syempre mahalagang matutunan natin ang pagluluto. Bakit? Kasi kung tayo marunong magluto, makasusubok tayo ng iba't ibang mga lutuin na kung minsan makatutulong upang tayo magkaroon ng munting hanap buhay o negosyo at makapagbibigay ligaya sa ating pamilya sapagkat iba't ibang maihahain natin sa hapagkainan.
Kailangan natin matutong magluto dahil ito ang ating skill sapagkat tayo ay kumakain araw-araw.
And that's it. Thank you, my dear friends, for sharing your thoughts about the importance of learning this skill. But let us try to discuss each reason, alright? Number one, why do we have to learn cooking as a skill? Well, it's because if we know how to cook, we are assured that what we are eating is clean and healthy, clean and nutritious. Yes, that is right. Question is why? Well, basically, if we prepare our own food, we know what kinds of ingredients are added into it. We know how each ingredient is cleaned and prepared before it's added to the food that we're cooking. So with that, we know, we are assured that, hey, what I'm eating now is actually clean and healthy. Is that understood? So that's number one. We go to number two. Number two is that it helps us to save money. Yes, in what way? Well, when we go to restaurants and fast food chains and buy your food, no, of course it's more expensive because other costs are added to that. Like they add markup to that, the profit, the everything that they will be using for the business. Whereas if we cook our own food, there are no additional costs. We only buy the ingredients, we prepare, we cook, we eat. That's it. Only that, when we go to restaurants, we pay for convenience. We don't have to think about preparing it and then cooking it and then cleaning the dishes and everything. But hey, there's no problem going to restaurants, eating there once in a while. But doing it every time that we want to eat is expensive. So, learn how to cook simple recipes to more complicated ones, and you will be able to save more money. That's number 2. We go to number 3. Knowing how to cook is actually an instrument to serve us or to give us additional income. It serves additional income. Why? If we are good in cooking, we are good in baking, we can actually make a business out of that. Okay? I'm good in baking. I can have, my baked goods being sold to other people. I'm good in cooking. I can do the same or maybe offer a catering service. It's an additional income for us if we know how to cook. Using it will give us more profit and benefits. We go to number 4. Cooking or knowing how to cook makes us more independent. That is right. In the future or even starting now, when you know how to cook, you don't have to wait for other people to prepare your food for you. You know what I mean? Especially when you grow older and you live your own life. You don't have to depend on other people to cook the food for you. Because you see, if you don't know how to cook, you have to depend on other people cooking your favorite recipes or dishes for you. And just because you don't know how to cook and no one will cook, you will resort to what? Going to restaurants and just buy what you have to eat. So, being more independent, being able to do this on your own is actually a good feeling. Cooking makes us more independent. And last, actually, is that, if you know how to cook, it's an expression of love. Wait, it's an expression of love. Why? Can you imagine, people cooking for their family? They'll wake up early in the morning, prepare the food, your baon as well, maybe for school, your parents, or maybe anyone at home, maybe your dad. Because not only women are good in cooking, men are also good in cooking. So when we do this and serve this for our family, our friends, our relatives, it's actually a labor of love. That is why I said, if you know how to cook, it's an expression of love. I always tell my students, it's nice to wake up early in the morning, prepare a simple breakfast for the family, serve it there, and then, have them eat what you prepared. That's a simple expression of love. Take note, action speaks louder than words. All this are the reasons why we have to learn cooking. Aside from the fact that, hey, this is a survival skill. We all need to eat. We all need food to nourish our body. That's it for that. Now, let's talk about the next one. Why do we have to cook raw ingredients before they are served or eaten? First on our list, the reason why we have to cook raw ingredients, first is to kill the pathogenic organisms. Okay, what are pathogenic organisms? Well, these are harmful bacteria that may be found in food. That when you eat raw food or raw ingredients, it will lead us to suffer or experience different illnesses like maybe loose bowel movement. What else? Food poisoning or any other illnesses related to that. So it is important that when we cook the food, we cook the ingredients thoroughly so as to kill this bacteria that may be harmful for our health. That's number 1. We go to number 2. When we cook, we are able to alter its color, flavor, and texture. What do I mean by that? Alter means change. So we are able to change the color. Let's say we have one ingredient, chicken. How do we alter the flavor, color, and texture of the chicken? Or any other ingredients like meat or fish or vegetables? There are 2 ways. Number 1, the use of different ingredients can alter the color and flavor and texture of the food. Like adding tomato sauce in the chicken will give it an orange color. Adding yellow ginger, and curry powder to the chicken gives it somewhat like a yellowish color. So adding soy sauce to the pork when we cook adobo gives it a little blackish grayish color. Gives it also a salty flavor. So the use of different kinds of ingredients can actually alter the color, texture, and flavor of the food. That's number 1 for that. Number 2, using different methods of cooking like deep frying, sauteing, boiling, steaming can alter or change the color and texture and flavor of the food. Well, deep frying the food makes it crispier, while boiling it makes it softer or tender. Basically, that's how we have to do it. Then we go to number 3. We cook raw ingredients because we want to improve its digestibility. We want to make it tender, as simple as that. We want to make it tender, we want to make it soft, we want to make it edible. And so we improve digestibility when we apply heat on any raw ingredients that we have. So, if you don't cook it well, you are actually defeating the purpose of cooking. That's number 3. We go to the last. The last, number 4, we cook raw ingredients to make its maximum nutritive value available in palatable form. What do I mean by nutritive value? Nutritive value refers to the amount of nutrients that we get from every kind of ingredient. Okay, so nutrient, when we talk about nutrients, we speak of protein, we speak of carbohydrates, we speak of calcium, and all the rest of the nutrients that we can get from different kinds of food or ingredients. We cannot get or avail of the protein content of chicken or of pork or of fish if we will not cook them. Hence, cooking helps us to maximize and use the nutritive value available in all the kinds of ingredients that we have around us. Those are the 4 reasons why we have to cook raw ingredients before they are served and before they are eaten. And that's our episode for today. I hope that you learned very important information and knowledge from my video in this episode. And I hope that you will like and share this video to everyone that you know. Once again, this is Miss Takle for Teacher Rights TV. I'll see you again in our next videos. Thank you for watching.